I wasted 1 hour of my life watching this, and I watched the entire thing. So
Of course.
So Jimmy and I are doing this thing where we want to spend more time with each other at night because, he'll be in his office playing games or working on music, and I'll be reading, and we don't ever agree on any television shows. Right? So he's like, all right, I have this YouTuber. I think you're going to like him. So I'm like, okay. So we turn it on and we watch like one other video of his, and I really liked it. And I'm like, all right, let's watch another one. This was fun. So then Jimmy starts listing off all the video titles, and one of them is, I ate at every single Margaritaville in the US and Canada.
Okay.
So this guy, Eddie, went on a road trip with his friend to every single Margaritaville. And
how many locations are there?
21, 22 locations. And also, they have hotels. There's Margaritaville hotels. There's apparently a casino. And it was exhilarating to watch this man suffer. He was having like margaritas, and he's like, these margaritas are so sugary. His tummy was hurting after like day 5 because he was eating so much fried food.
Of course.
And the burgers were not in paradise. He's like, if I have to have another cheeseburger in paradise, I'm going to kill somebody. And sometimes he was like, I got a salad with chicken. And he just zooms in on the chicken, and it looks like that like plastic chicken you played with as a kid, with like the Fisher Price chicken.
It's like your skin color pretty much, with like just the grill marks on it.
And he's like, this is the toughest chicken I've ever eaten in my life. But then he keeps going through this video, and he's like, but I get it. You got to just always say, what would Jimmy do? And then it just pans over to like Jimmy Buffett, and the amount of like quotes on the walls, and like it's a cult.
It is a cult. So do you guys remember, well, you have to have been lived here when there was a cheeseburger in paradise in Des Plaines.
Yeah.
And like, for some reason, my friends and I like loved to go there, but like, and of course my middle brother became kind of like a parrot head.
What is a parrot head?
You don't know what a parrot head is?
No.
That's a person who follows Jimmy Buffett like to the end.
Like the people that like bus behind the Grateful Dead.
Correct.
Okay.
They're called parrot heads.
Oh.
Yes. So like he's been to like a few Jimmy Buffett concerts and stuff like that, but like they are die hard. Like, and some of these Margaritavilles are like timeshares, and like not only a hotel. So like, okay, it's kind of funny that you bring this up, because I was looking at in St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands to go for vacation with John, and we were thinking about staying at a Margaritaville, and like people will, like, they own condos on the Margaritaville property. And it's exactly what you described everywhere. Like, just quotes. And so, like, I'm not sure, like, we never booked it, and I don't know if we're going to go, but like, it's quite a following. And people,
that's incredible.
Yeah.
The fact that you can be like, hey, I got a timeshare.
Right.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
A timeshare for 100 years at a Margaritaville in St. Thomas.
Here's the thing. I don't know if I'm more offended about the fact that they built a Margaritaville timeshare complex on a exotic, beautiful, non-US island. Like, that's...
Oh, no, that is the US version.
Oh, it is. Yes. Sorry.
But like, I mean, I know, I mean, I think he did it in like Jamaica, that there's like...
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Okay. So I've never, well, of course I know a few Buffett songs. They had Buffett Hour at Yard House when I worked there. So there was like that.
Give the people what they want.
Between lunch, it was basically the happy hour shift. Like that 3 to 5 p.m., they would play at least like 10 to 15 Buffett songs. So I knew those. But watching this poor man, there were times on the road trip where they had to eat at a Margaritaville 2 times a day in 2 different states, because it's just how it like worked out. Could you imagine having...
I mean, I can't imagine that the menu would be is going to be different, right? It can't be.
It is.
It is different?
Some of them have like artisanal things and
others are just deep fried buckets of things.
Yeah, basically. And the one thing that they kept saying was like, do not have the jambalaya. Do not have Jimmy's jam and jambalaya. So he didn't have it till like the second to last day.
Oh, you're just like, well, why not? Did he end up in the hospital?
No, but the fish and chips were the culprit to the tummy aches. Fish and chips literally
that's usually
looked
safe. That's just like, other places, I feel like it's a pretty generic.
But everything apparently started tasting the same because once you go to a chain, it's like it's all the same ingredients. And the margaritas were the same. He was just at one point just getting hammered.
Of course.
Because he's like, this is how I feel. What would Jimmy do?
What would Jimmy do? Yeah.
Put my toes in the sand and I drink a margarita in the middle of the day.
So going off of that, is there a chain restaurant that you would eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for an entire month? What would it be?
No one will be shocked if I say this, but the Yard House.
Okay. Is it a chain? Yeah, I guess it is a chain.
It is a chain now. It's owned by the people who own Olive Garden.
I mean, okay. So that's not. I mean, that's
also,
bad.
I worked there, so like it's comfy. It's home.
Yeah.
I crave it, even though I don't work there now.
And you've probably had everything on that menu, so you know. So like, what would you order? What would be like? What's your go-to?
So I have 2 orders. I'll go back in time to Monica's hungover in college order, and it was the chicken tortilla soup with white rice. I would add white rice, and then they don't have these anymore, but I would get that, and then a side of what they called Southwest mashed potatoes, and it was basically mashed potatoes, corn, and spinach, like all in one, and then a little bit of gravy on top. So that was like my hangover.
That sounds pretty good.
Comfort meal.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna sound so old saying this, but like they have the salmon dish, and I love it. Like I love their salmon. Like, I think it's like a barbecue salmon with like asparagus and brown rice, or their ahi tuna salad if I'm craving that.
That's
salad.
The Monica 30-year-old.
Yeah.
Like the grown-up
well-balanced diet.
Yes.
21-year-old.
What about breakfast? Do they have
They
breakfast?
don't have breakfast.
No.
That was the saving grace. I did not have to work Mother's Day or Easter brunch.
Okay. Yeah. Thank God
That
for
was kind of nice.
Yeah. Good. All right.
Because I used to do that at the Mexican restaurant I worked at when I was in high school. And Mother's Day and Easter brunch.
Nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
Even though you're dressed up very nicely in your Sunday best, people don't know how to behave when there's either a buffet or it's a brunch or anything on those 2 days.
Mm-mm. And those, like, arguably the 2 days that you want to be on your best behavior for your mother and for Jesus who died for our sins.
But you know what always got me? Father's Day, restaurant was just normal.
Yeah.
These dads are like, I'm a barbecue, right? And so I was like, I'll always work Father's Day. That's fine. Sorry, Dad. All right, well, welcome back to Lap It Like It's Hot, y'all. We're on episode 6 here, and we are approaching, finally, the Long Beach Grand Prix, the big old 50th anniversary. So before we get started talking about Long Beach and all the fun things around it, we wanted to talk a little bit about some news that went out right before I think it was maybe a week and a half ago. So right after our last episode aired. And we're going to talk about it because some of them are a little spicy.
Especially the thermal viewership.
Was I surprised?
I mean,
no.
I don't know. Like, well, there was a few factors, right, that probably had an impact on the viewership. One, I feel like other people have talked about it too, is like the backlash of the actual location.
Yeah.
That like just people were very upset with the prices of the tickets, the exclusivity of it, the catering to rich people, so they're just not going to watch it, I guess.
That I also think, I hate to say it, but the race wasn't even that good, right? So the last 10 laps were okay, but that was only because 85% of it was just us watching nothing for hours. So even with the broadcast going down, nothing happened during those moments of the broadcast going down. I wasn't shocked by the numbers because you also got to think about it. IndyCar was competing with NASCAR. Granted, NASCAR was on FS1, so you're not competing with dual audiences at that point. If you're a NASCAR fan, you're watching the NASCAR race, right? It was also March Madness.
Yes.
So a lot of bars that normally would have just like Fox up where people can just watch it even if they don't even know what it is. They were watching March Madness at that point on other channels. And at the end of the day, like, even Long Beach is going to compete with Bristol. And Bristol is a huge NASCAR race. Like, a lot of people watch Bristol. Like, when people ask me, name a NASCAR track, Bristol is in the top 3 that I even know as a non-NASCAR fan. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting to see Long Beach. IMSA's also racing at Long Beach with IndyCar.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I'm hoping we'll get some IMSA fans who are not IndyCar fans to watch, which is good. But I think the true numbers of that race are going to dictate whether or not the Fox deal is working or not. Mm-hmm. But I don't think thermal's going to be on the calendar next year. Yeah, I don't think it will be.
It was too hot. Like, just things just were failing. Like, I don't know. It just already just leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth.
It's been not 100% confirmed, but Mark Miles and Roger Penske have stated that next year's schedule is going to remain at 17 races. But you're adding Arlington, which means
what's coming
a
off?
Race needs to come off. While the drivers don't like the doubleheader in Iowa because having to race 2 races back to back and then race another race the next weekend is a little harsh, I don't think Iowa's going to let go of that second slot. So the only other places I can think of if thermal has to stay would be Portland going away because its contract is up this year, and Laguna Seca. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to get rid of Laguna Seca and Portland over this race, honey.
Yeah, there's some sort of politics that are happening in the background that, like...
What house are they building you out there, Roger?
Yeah, no kidding.
Or houses. Mm-hmm. So...
I know, and I really want to go to Laguna Seca, so please don't.
I know, please
don't get rid of that one.
Re-sign it for like maybe 2 more years so that we can go to Laguna Seca for the weekend.
And hang out in Monterey.
Yeah. And Portland, that's fine. That's okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't cry if Portland went away.
Yeah.
So...
Agreed.
Some other things around thermal. So we'll talk about some penalties that were issued after the race. Colton. Mm-hmm. He can't catch a break, can he?
Yeah, some sort of curse. That's the Andretti curse, right? Or is it just me just being a fan? Just like, I'm a Ferrari fan, cursed. I'm an Andretti fan, cursed.
I just want to say,
it might be me.
The same weekend where Ferrari got double disqualified, Colton did get one of the Premas blew up.
Yes.
And
got penalized for it.
And then Colton got penalized for it.
Yeah. So sad.
Maybe you should just pretend to not be a Colton Herta fan.
I'm just going to wear a shirt that says sports. So everything just goes sports. Okay, perfect. So just give me that shirt and I just won't wear anything.
As long as everyone has fun.
Yes. Yes. Let's hope everyone has fun.
So Colton was issued, to preface, Colton was not issued the penalty. The team was issued the penalty. So the first thing people started screaming from the rooftops was, oh my gosh, this is going to ruin Colton's chances to get a super license for the potential Cadillac F1 seat. It's not.
Right.
It's the 26 car got penalized, not Colton.
Not the driver.
Yeah. So his leadership circle points got deduced, which he'll be fine. Mm-hmm. Trust me. And then the team also got fined. So.
And what was it? What was the actual penalty for?
So basically, there are what they call anti-intrusion plates in the car. This is Monica talking as a non-engineer. Okay. Mm-hmm. So normally the anti-intrusion plates, there's usually 2 of them. Colton only had 1. This was introduced after Hinch's accident. So it's supposed to be a safety piece to help prevent like metal rods to just break through one piece of one plate versus 2. So it was just from what I heard, it was just a simple mistake. It was a simple error that the team had. And I
was just looking up like what the actual thing does. So these plates were introduced after the serious incident in 2015, where a suspension component penetrated the cockpit during the crash.
Yeah, so it's in the front of the car.
The plates are mounted on the chassis to prevent suspension arms from intruding into the cockpit during high impact collisions.
Yeah, because
makes sense.
Poor Hinch got impaled.
Yes, he was shish kebabbed by his own car. Poor thing.
Oh, I guess shish kebab is the right term for that.
Yeah.
Ugh. So
Impaled, whatever.
whatever.
I like shish kebab better.
Yeah. He died and then came back.
Right.
So it just seems like no one else in Andretti are having these problems. Why is it Colton's?
Because it's me.
You're the problem.
I'm the problem.
Will you say it here first? I'm Elena.
I'm
no
Elena.
Longer
It's
Colton
me.
Herta.
Hi. I'm the problem. It's me.
So yeah, but another team of yours, Prema, also got.
See? I'm telling you.
It wasn't a good race weekend for any cars that were red.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Schwarzman's 83 Prema also got a penalty similar to Colton's. They got a loss of 10 championship points and a monetary fine for the 83, which kind of sucks. But
what were they supposed to do? Because obviously there was did this cause the fire, or this was in response to the fire?
It was a response to the fire.
So they obviously didn't have this product available, a second thing, so they just had to do something in order to race.
Yeah.
So what do you expect them to do?
Well, it brings up a good point about it happens, but it's very rare for a car like that to be 100% not usable.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they had to roll out a brand new Dallara and say, all right, scrap that other one. But if a team is missing a part, granted, this was a emergency pull cable. It's something they need for emergencies. The fact that they didn't include it because they didn't have it.
Mm-hmm. Right? They should have, if it's an emergency, you should probably have a backup, or I don't know.
Or you don't race.
Or you don't race.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So the 10 championship points kind of sucks for dear old Bobby because he is in the fight for Rookie of the Year for that. Prema doesn't qualify for leadership circle points, so that money they're not going to be eligible for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it felt as if just let's kick a man while he's down.
Mm-hmm.
Man was on fire.
Right.
And then
he suffered enough.
He was doing okay in the race. Then the pit stop screwed him, and then now they're like, just kidding, you also get penalized.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very happy Thermal's done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk about Thermal anymore.
On to bigger and better things.
Yeah. Speaking of bigger and better things, so it was announced earlier last week that Jay Fry has finally landed a job since being fired from Penske Entertainment. So Jay Fry is now going to be the president of Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing. And it was actually, Jay had offers from NASCAR, from F1, from other IndyCar teams, and he thought that RLL is the best place for him to thrive. And I think it's a good move for him. I think Jay Fry did a lot for IndyCar when he was president, and while it may have not have been as fast as what Roger wanted, I think he has made some great changes to the series, especially from a safety and rules perspective. But Graham's dad, Bobby, he's in his 70s. Yeah. Lanigan is also in his 70s, and David Letterman he's not there at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. with the team and logging on Zoom calls and being like, all right, what's going on? Check-ins.
Right. He's doing other things. He's doing Letterman things.
Yeah, he's providing funding and also probably help for sponsorship because you're David Letterman at the end of the day, right? Mm-hmm. So I do think having Jay, who has a lot of success running a team, understanding a team. Graham is also getting up there in age, which is really crazy for me to say, oh, Graham's getting old because Graham's 36. Mm-hmm. But
he's younger than me. So sad.
Yeah. But I think it's good for the team because I don't know if Graham would want to take over team ownership after he puts up his helmet, right? And they really, outside of Graham, they really don't have anybody that's ready to lead the team. Mm-hmm. That was supposed to be Christian Lundgaard, mm-hmm. but he left due to a lot of issues that was happening at RLL at the time. So Jay now has a home. We'll see what he can do. I think it's a good move. I'm just shocked that there were some F1 teams that were interested in him, and part of me is like, was it Cadillac? Like, was Cadillac going, hey,
Right. You know your stuff that you can just
yeah,
move over here.
the sales and marketing side, like he might not be like a Zach Brown McLaren marketing guy, but apparently he's got some really great ideas. So I could see a Cadillac reaching out to him. So
How long was he president of IndyCar?
I think a bit.
Hang on.
Because he was fired very abruptly. I think he was fired in February. So like he was fired right before the series even started. And I don't think it was known by Jay that it was even coming. I think he was blindsided by Doug Bowles being promoted. But he had to be at least 5 years, more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So but I also found it interesting that he worked at Anheuser-Busch. That was like early in his career. I was like, you were selling marketing beer. Now you're doing racing. Living the dream.
But it really goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
100%. So, yeah, and RLL also has other racing series. They have IMSA as well as, I think they're in the endurance as well. So he'll be leading all of that, moving forward. So I'm glad that he was able to find a job very quickly after getting canned.
Yeah, he was from 2018 to 2020, February 2025.
So that's a good chunk of time.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's a hard time to be that, especially during COVID.
Yeah. And he did a lot. And while we will never know what truly happened, being fired or being let go that abruptly a month before the season starts.
Little red flag.
Yeah. Not for Jay, but more for like Roger and how he's running his ship.
Mm-hmm. What he wants it to happen.
Yeah. I think he wants it to move faster. But unless you start funding it, it's not going to move that fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, last piece of business. Speaking of NASCAR, Kyle Larson unveiled his liveries for the, I want to call it double header, but it's not the double.
Mm-hmm.
So the crazy part about all of this is Kyle's second attempt doing it. Because of the crazy rain last year, he was unable to complete the double. He is sponsored by Prime, the drink, and now Prime, the Amazon Prime.
Interesting.
So he is primed out.
Definitely. So what is the double?
So the double. So basically he will do the Indy 500. Once the checker drops on the Indy 500, he will get into a helicopter, fly to an airport, get in his private jet, fly to Charlotte, North Carolina, and do the Coca-Cola 600 all in one day.
He did not get to do it last year, right? Because of rain. There was like a severe delay at the Indy 500.
Yep. And then once he finished the 500, there are some rules in NASCAR where you can have a temporary driver hop in the car for a certain amount of time as like a relief driver until the other driver comes in. And once Kyle got to the race for the Coca-Cola, it started raining there. So he couldn't finish it. So Amazon Prime is going to be doing a documentary about, I'm assuming they have footage from last year and they were going to do it if he completed it. But if he completes it this year, they're going to announce a docuseries about the 1100, Kyle Larson and the 1100.
Cool.
He was pretty good last year. And it's still in sponsorship with McLaren. The fun part is Tony Kanaan, Mr. TK, is actually going to be going in and doing one of the IndyCar IMS tests. So that way, if any forsakable reason Kyle cannot race the 500, that TK will step in his place.
Cool.
So
that's pretty awesome.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Not that I don't want Kyle to try it, but I think it'd be really funny to have a team principal of a team actually race in the Indy 500.
Be like, and that's why I'm the boss.
Yeah.
Like, right in one of those situations.
Then who's the boss if he's racing it?
Right? There has to be, right? Because like the president and the vice president don't fly in the same plane. So like, who's gonna, right?
Right, because Zach Brown finally will. Because he goes to the 500. He doesn't go to Monaco.
He doesn't go to Monaco?
He was, no, Well, was he? No, he was in Monaco last year.
I was going to say,
because
I
when
don't think he
Pato
was
was
at the 500.
crying.
Yeah.
I don't think he came down to
Yeah.
tap his head and say, "I'm sorry, babe."
Right. So maybe it's going to, I don't know. Because, well, Monaco's always a boring, just kind of staple race that needs to happen.
Yep.
So maybe they're going to do every other year that he's going to do. Okay, this year's my Indy 500 year.
It'll be nice to see him there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll see. So we'll see what happens with the 500. Ticket sales are moving really quickly. They're ahead of schedule. So I would not be surprised if they sell out or get close to a sellout. Parking did officially sell out, which is like a month and a half earlier than what it normally does. So people are going to be there for the 500. Yeah.
All right.
So, oh man, we're less than 50 days. Woohoo!
Mm-hmm.
A couple Indy Next pieces of news. So Sophia Flourish has ended her Indy Next career after one race. So unfortunately, there was some issues with her primary sponsorship. So she is no longer going to be driving in Indy Next, which means Hailie Deegan is now the only woman left in the field in the Indy Next series. So kind of unfortunate. It happens when you're in the junior levels. When you don't have money, don't race.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, so, but that's okay. And speaking of promotions, so Doug Bowles was interiming as the director of Indy Next. They have now hired Kirk Dooley as the new director of Indy Next. So he will oversee all of the operations there, as well as partner with Bowles on like everything from the new prize money and also what they're going to do in the future with pipelining for talent. But he's been in the IndyCar pipeline for a while, so he's not someone from the outside. He's someone from internal that's going to be taking over Indy Next. So we'll see what Kirk can do. So, well, that was news. I guess now it's time to move over to Long Beach.
Talk about Long Beach. So this is the 50th anniversary, right? Did you see who's going to be the marshals?
No.
It's going to be my number 2, Mr. Mario Andretti.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And one of the Bobby Unser? Not Bobby. One of the Unsers.
Al.
Yeah, whoever's still alive.
Yeah, I was going to say the one that's still kicking.
Yes. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be... I wonder what they're going to be, what co-grand marshals do. Are they going to say, drivers, start your engines?
Together?
That would be awesome.
You're right. It's kind of like Mean Girls.
Like, drivers, start your engines.
I don't know. Be like, we're the OGs, right? Respect.
Oh, yeah. Respect. I like that. That's awesome.
So some previous winners, Scott Dixon, that are currently on the grid. So Scott Dixon won in 2024. Mm-hmm. Kyle Kirkwood in 2023. Joseph Newgarden, Colton, Alex Rossi, and Will Power.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that Alex Rossi won it back to back. So clearly this is a good track for him. And Will posted today on Instagram kind of a throwback to his 2012 win, and he looks exactly the same. And I'm like, this man hasn't aged.
It's the Australian blood.
I know.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Does he, like, off the track, does he really worry about anything?
No.
Not really.
No.
Probably where he's barefoot in his house.
Playing drums.
Right, 100%. So that's the key.
I need to start thinking, what will willpower do?
Yes.
Take a little bit of that.
That's going to be on our bracelets. Maybe we'll do something like that.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, we're going to do that. But this is actually also the first year that Penske Entertainment has purchased the Long Beach Grand Prix. So this is the first year where it's going to be Penske owned. So there's no promoter. It's now Penske. So we'll see if they do anything special for that as well. Everyone wants to win Long Beach. I feel like that's the race everyone wants to win outside of the 500. So we'll see what happens. But last year was it was a little bit of a crazy race. Scott Dixon won, as you mentioned. And in essence, it's because he fuel saved. That man should not have had that much fuel at the end of that race.
So how do they save fuel like that? Like what's some of the strategies, or do they? I'm sure they don't share.
Lift and coast, probably.
Yeah.
He's not pushing as hard. He's not clicking push to pass, right? But he had enough fuel to get to like the podium. People are like, How is that possible?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this man knows how to save fuel, and that's why, this is one of the races where they extended it by a few laps to prevent a Scott Dixon to fuel save.
And so did they extend it then this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think it's 90 something laps now.
It's 90 laps. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming it probably was like 80 to 85 laps last year, but Fro was on pole with MSR, so this is definitely a track for, Meyershank Racing, but I don't know. Do you think Alex Palou will three-peat and win the first 3 races of the year?
So I was actually kind of like looking at some of the odds and things like that, and yes, he is like supposed to, or he projected to win this one.
In all due respect, Alex Palou, please. You can win. Okay, I'll give it to you. You can win. Give us a good race.
Mm-hmm.
Give us some spiciness. Give me like teammates crashing into each other. Give me something.
Mm-hmm.
Because if
We
it's
need some-
going to be a snooze fest and just Alex is just like
coasting
bye.
and be like, peace. So we just not even count him and just watch the rest of the race, right? Like,
just give him the trophy.
like Max in 2021.
Yeah.
Like everyone just ignore him and just watch the rest of the race, right? And just assume that he's going to win.
Everyone else gets participation trophies and they have to actually race. Alex
Yes.
Palou, here's a championship money, here's the ring.
Right. Just go with
Go
it.
home.
Yeah.
Go home. So we'll see what happens. With the fuel saving last year, it kind of added a little bit of complexity to the race. But it was the question will now be like, will there be yellows and how the yellows fall, and also how tire strategy is going to be,
Mm-hmm.
because degradation is like I feel
the
like I
hottest
talk
topic
about
right now.
degradation about tires now all the time
Mm-hmm.
because of how heavy these cars are and the new tire grades that Firestone has brought on. So
I wonder what the weather is going to be like.
it's going to be cold or chillier.
So that's going to be in their favor tire wise, right? If it's hotter, then
Yeah.
faster degradation, right?
So last time I checked, I think it's going to be in the mid 60s. But on race day, there is a chance for that marina fog.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how that's going to impact warm up, but it's like in the low 50s at night.
Yeah, it says like 70s during the day and low 50s in the evening.
Ooh. So it's going to be chillier,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. It's not I think 70 degrees, honestly, if I was a race car driver, I would actually like it to be 70 degrees.
Yeah, I mean, that's very pleasant. I mean, you don't want it to be 90 degrees
No.
and wear that horrible cooling suit.
Yeah.
It seems so uncomfortable.
Exactly. So, but Long Beach has a lot of great moments. We have that beautiful fountain with the dolphins where everyone has to like accordion in and people always clip into each other. So it's definitely
Very family friendly, right? So they actually have like a family fun zone.
ooh.
And it offers lots. It looks very. It almost reminds me of like the Road America and how much activities and stuff like that. Just because it's been there for so long, it's definitely a fan favorite and fans like centered.
Yeah. And then you also get the IMSA side of it too. So like you're getting 2 races on the same weekend, which is really exciting. And a lot of the teams in IndyCar have IMSA teams. So it's like getting the family back together again, right?
So when is IMSA going to race there? What day?
It's not the same weekend. I think might be the next weekend.
Because I was looking at, I was looking at news today about that too.
So
Yeah, let me see the IMSA schedule.
which is crazy. I was trying to find IMSA information and I don't look up IMSA information generally. And I'm just like, where IMSA.com? Is this where I go? So
No, it does say 11 and 12.
oh, so it is this weekend. So it's like Detroit.
So it's, okay. Yeah. So like they're gonna, interesting.
That'll be cool. At least the track will be rubbered down. That's for sure.
Yeah. I know. Huh. I didn't even realize that was like a possibility that it could overlap like that on the same race week.
Yeah, because the track's not that long. It's like, what, less than 2 miles
Yeah,
long?
less than 2 miles. It's 1.968 miles, 11 turns.
I don't know why, but to think of like an IMSA car going around that kind of tight track, maybe I'll actually watch IMSA this weekend too.
Right. Well, it has like three pretty good straights. It's kind of shaped like an arrow.
Yeah. Oh, I guess
So
we'll see.
maybe, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
But yeah, so, but Victory Lane is also a special one. They imprint the names, dates, and faces into the pavement. So like you're just immortalized.
That's cool.
It's a nice, there's clearly 2 Scott Dixons, 2 Willie P's, 2 Alex Rossi's faces down there. So it's definitely one where
I like that tradition.
I like that too. Could you
But it's
imagine?
face down. It's not face up.
Yeah, face down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool.
But so prediction wise, I have Colton winning this. I think he'll break the curse since you're no longer going to be supporting him.
Go sports.
Go sports. But I do think Will Power will be on pole. I think he's really good at getting those 1 lap paces. And then sleeper, Ed Carpenter Racing has been really consistent these last 2 races. I think Rossi is getting everything he can out of that car. While street circuits are not necessarily their strong suit, I think he'll be in the top 10 again.
He's been very strong.
Yeah.
So that's good for him. So my predictions are I do have Alex Blow winning just because
Safe.
it's safe, right? I guess the favorite, I suppose. I have Newgarden getting pole.
Okay.
And I'm pulling for Lundgaard as a sleeper. He's been doing really good. He's been fighting.
I know. I wonder what how the vibes will change if Lundgaard starts performing better than Pato.
Mm-hmm. I know. That's what I was thinking. Like, but Pato has the fan base. Is that fan base ever going to go away?
No.
Because it's his personality. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way. Lundgaard, even if he does outperform him, I think you're still going to get the Pato as a fan favorite.
God, imagine if Lundgaard won the 500.
Oh my God. That would be devastating. Actually.
Great for him.
Right. Great.
Congratulations.
But like knowing where Pato's been for the last 2 years, like that would be gut wrenching.
It will be interesting to see if the Penskes can rebound because they had a pretty shitty last race.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
I think there will be a Penske on pole. But it all comes down to, will Alex Palou three-peat? I hope not. Because I don't want to go into the month of May at Barber being like, all right, well.
Yeah, it's like, all right, Alex, just do it. Okay.
Just
can
win.
you just yeah.
If it turns into a 2021 like Max Verstappen-esque season, like there's just going to be one driver that's going to win. I don't know if I will give Alex Palou credit to win if he wins 3 in a row. So future Monica, we'll cut back to this. But if he wins 3 in a row, you know how hard that is to do in a spec series with basically almost the same tools.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't see. So Ganassi does not pay IndyCar for the in-car cameras, so we can't ever see what Alex is doing in that cockpit when he's driving.
Oh, that's not cool. So
like when we watch Colton and even Pato or even some drivers, they're like ninja hands. They're driving the wheels off these cars.
mm-hmm.
But even though I can't see in it, I don't think Alex is doing that. I feel like Alex has like, I don't know, like slow jams on in the radio. Like no one's talking to him. He's just going for a Sunday drive.
Sounds like it. I mean, just based on even his personality, he's just like, yep, let's do it. Let's keep going.
But one thing we'll talk about, and we'll end here, the Chili Mobile's gone.
I'm devastated. I'm really sad.
I feel bad for this new sponsor because they want, like, granted, they're probably getting a lot of visibility because people are mad the Chili Mobile is gone.
Mm-hmm.
But Colton posted like an Instagram the other day, and they had the cars blurred out in the back, and I saw Kyle's number on the top, but then everything was blurred out, and I was like, something's happening, but I would not have thought that Chili's was going to go away.
I know. I think that was I loved it. Follow me to Chili's. Have this little chili on the top of the car. Did that go away too?
All of the Chili's branding is gone.
Huh.
They're no longer at least for Long Beach, they're not the primary sponsor for Kyle.
Could it come back for other races?
I'm assuming it probably can, because like some of these, like the PPG Chevy, the blue one for Joseph Newgarden, he doesn't race that one all year or all season. The Hitachi is only for a certain amount of races, right? So bring it at least back for the 500.
I hope so.
Make it an actual Chili.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so sad.
I am too.
Like
we're still gonna go to Chili's for the Margs.
Yeah, and we'll print out a little Chili mobile, and we'll have a little like funeral for it if it's actually gone. We'll cry into our Presidente margaritas. Be like, we couldn't see the Chili mobile in person.
No. But we can create our own and mourn in our own way.
We might need to update our thoughts on Road America if that's the case.
We should make it into what's it called? Just dedicated to the dead Chili's mobile.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. We can be pallbearers.
We know a guy. All right. Well, Long Beach Grand Prix is this weekend, everyone. We're super excited. When we come back on our next episode, we'll debrief everything that happened after the checker flu. As always, you can watch Long Beach on Fox, the race on Fox.
It's so April 13th on Sunday, 3:30 is when it's going to be on Fox.
That's a late one. Oh, they're in California.
Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting with the time change.
Yep.
And qualies and practice will be on FS1 or FS2, and we're looking forward to it. And R.I.P. Chili Mobile. Alex, we'll see. Maybe you'll hear excitement from Milena that she predicted that he three-peated, or excitement that someone else won.
I am not cheering you though, so if you do win, it's not my fault.
Okay.
Or if you lose, it's not my fault either.
Well, you do have some bad luck with penalties and stuff, so maybe he'll just get disqualified.
Maybe.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. As always, if you want to stay up to date on everything around Lap It Like It's Hot, follow us on Instagram, Threads, or BlueSky at Lap It Like It's Hot. If you want to hear more podcasts or go to our previous episodes, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. And always like, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating. Any 5 rating helps get our voices out there to folks who don't know who we are. And on to Long Beach.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.